So we're going to be doing a quick unboxing of XNITO helmets before we go for our ride today. I'm going to be combining this video as a helmet ride and also the XP Lite, kind of a commentary on a hill that we're going to be tackling today. I first off want to say thank you very much to XNITO for reaching out to me to do a review on their helmets, because I actually have been looking for a new helmet. What I have is okay. If some of you may have seen the review I did on it earlier, but it's a little dated. Also, I also want something a little more, I guess, higher protection. I realized that we've been riding pretty fast, especially with a lot of the Class 3 bikes that we get coming in. XNITO was kind enough to send me 2 helmets to give my reaction. And I'm gonna actually have John also help me out, give me his reaction. There's 2 different styles that I actually asked, or I told them I thought was really cool. They claim that they have these standards that are actually higher than the safety standards that we have in place today. These actually pass the Dutch standards. I don't know the exact coding. I'll have it posted on the bottom here of what they are. But basically, these are rated so that they can protect your head up to 28 miles per hour, which is what our Class 3 bikes typically run here in the US. The other thing that's really cool about these helmets is it's a pretty much one size fits all. So this is one of the styles that we have here. Go ahead. And for one thing, it looks like it might be heavy. It is exceptionally light. The other thing is that it is, like I said, one size fits all. You kind of open up the helmet part that holds your head, and then with that, once you put it on, you start to crank it and it'll tighten up, as you can see that. So we'll put it on here, just tighten it a little bit, and that actually does keep it on my head. It won't fall off. And you can go ahead and, of course, adjust your strap accordingly when you're ready to go ahead and ride. And I'll be tightening this up. But first impression is this thing fits really nicely, very snug. I like how actually it's not tighter in one area and not in others, where some on my other helmet kind of does that. And what it does, gives me a headache after a while. And you also do get some added pieces for extra protection in other areas. And also, I guess this is for a visor guard. Let's go ahead and unbox the other one, because I want to show some of the cool patterns that they have. These, like I said, were 2 of the ones I thought would match well with more of the bike colors that we ride with. This will go nice with any of my white bikes, and also actually it matches really nicely with the Core 5, but the coloring is very similar to it. Now these both also have lights on the back of the helmet and also on the front. So this is for visibility. You get a better opportunity to be seen. And the cool thing about these as well, which I didn't like about some of my other helmets, is that the battery had to be replaced. This actually is USB rechargeable. It lasts for quite a long time from what I had read. So these are the XNITO helmets. It also has an 85% higher protection rate than our standard classes too. So one of the goals of XNITO is to bring out the inadequacy of our current standard ratings of our helmets and to go ahead and increase the standards so that we're riding around a lot safer, because now with e-bikes becoming so prevalent out there, especially at the Class 3 levels, this is definitely something that we want to go ahead and take a higher look at, is as far as better safety for all of our heads. Let's go ahead and we'll check out some ride footage, but I want to get John's opinion.
Well, let me see. Oh yeah, it's shockingly light. I'm no helmet expert, but it looks great. Yeah, I could be styling in that.
And John is also a motorcycle rider, so he does have other helmets other than his bicycle helmet that he does ride here. Okay,
yeah, I can see right now this solves some of the issues I've had with my other helmets. Apparently I do have a big head. Damn, it fits pretty good. Well, it kind of hangs on to you, doesn't it? It does. Let's see here. I could be very comfortable riding this. Yeah, this is good.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a ride. All right, so we're starting up the hill. John is on a WTVA 750 watt bike, and I am on the Lectric XP. This is the XP Lite, and it's only a 300 watt motor. Now we're starting the incline, and the bike is doing all the work right now, even though I'm pedaling. In fact, if I hold the throttle, you can still see John's pulling away, but this is about where I start helping the bike, about 16 miles an hour, and I do have it in pedal assist 5. This is a fully charged battery. So this hill that we're on, as you can see, John on a 750, most 750 bikes can pull just the way it's going, even on the 26-inch tire bikes like the Magicycle. The Blackbird has a 24-inch, and the Snap Cycle can also pull without any pedaling being done. And again, those are all 750 big fat tire bikes. They all have the mock wheel is another one that has a lot of power to do it, and John is over 200 pounds. So I am actually just kind of cruising at 300 watts nominal, and of course 700 peak. It actually is doing very well. So let's see how much. I have 48 volts being set on the battery here, or current is at 16, but so let me hold the throttle. So 16 amps must be the current max, and it is pulling out its max, but like I said, with a little bit of pedaling, very little help, it's doing fine, pulling me up this hill. This is the hill test, I guess. I would say, if you're wondering, will a single speed 300 watt have be an issue? I don't think so. Honestly, even if I was heavier, I think even John could probably get this with just a little bit of help now. Right now the bike took over. I'm not even helping the bike at all. I'm just pedaling, air pedaling. In fact, if I hold the throttle, it's going 18.5 miles an hour. And a lot of the steep part of the incline is actually stopped. So we're still going uphill, but not nearly as steep as it was before, kind of reaching the peak. I am actually very pleasantly shocked or surprised at how well this is. Now I can add a little speed to it by helping it out, but this bike is doing really well. 300 watts, didn't realize how much you can put out there, but that's the thing about Lectric. They actually fine-tune their bikes so well to have such higher levels of power out of the motors that they put into these things. So John just dropped down to 205, and as you can see, that bike has no problem pulling him up this hill. He was hardly pedaling at all, and again, I'm at 170 right now as far as my weight. So I've been at 170 pounds. This bike can easily pull me up the hill as well. Like I said, I'm just doing throttle alone now, not even doing any pedaling whatsoever. I don't know if you can see my feet, but so if you're concerned about power on this bike, now you might be tipping the 240 or I think that's the max weight on this thing. You'll still get around on flat ground, but you might have to do a little helping on the upper hills. But the thing about this bike is it's so light. That's why. That's another thing, is that I think there's a 20-pound difference between this one and the WTVA Orion that John is on also. This bike being only 46 pounds with the battery in it, huge difference in performance when you consider any other bike that we actually ride around with. So right now we've reached the top of the hill, and now it's all downhill. So I'm not sure exactly the distance of that hill, but we're gonna have to measure that too one day. And right now I'm at no throttle, 23 miles an hour, just letting the bike coast down. Because the tires are so thin, there's very little drag. So the bike will just pick up speed. It's going 25, 26 miles an hour without any throttle, without any push. If I shut off the motor, I'd still be going this speed. So gives you an idea how smooth this bike actually goes down without it. Like I'm hitting the brakes a little, 27 miles an hour, 28, oh, 27. If I top, yeah, it did hit 28 when I topped. Again, like I said, no throttle on this. It's all gravity doing the work. And my downhill is starting to actually flatten out too. It's supposed to hit 100 degrees today. Right now I think it's still about 73. And it's only 8:40 in the morning. Yeah, still 23 miles an hour according to the GPS, 21 according to the bike. And about this is when I can start air pedaling or pushing it a little bit. We'll be turning in here. Oh, the nimbleness of this bike is just incredible. You know, a lot of people have compared it to being like riding your old BMX bike, and I totally feel that. It's just a little more stable than the old BMX bikes, but so nice. Okay, so we're just about at our breakfast destination, and I will talk to you guys in the next segment after we've eaten. Okay, so we're heading back home now, and basically going up where we were coming down earlier. This is a less of an incline versus the other time. And again, just throttle alone, I'm already doing like 19.1 miles an hour. So now we have a little further or a steeper incline coming up. Still throttle 17.5, slowing down. And at this point, I can actually help it. The gearing on the XP Lite is actually made quite well, where you don't have to air pedal so much going at even 17 miles an hour. I think it's just with that big front sprocket we got here, really helps make a difference on it. So I don't even know if I really need to pedal, because the inclines maybe just the bike's doing fine on its own. And John is actually being courteous and holding back, because if he was to open that up, he'd be pulling away pretty quick. Still, again, just maintaining that 17 mile an hour, because I've at pedal assist 5, so it pulls. Let's go ahead and see. Battery's at 46 volts, current's at 16 amps, 15 amps. Pretty consistent there. Now the XNITO helmets, I'd like to say, is one thing John didn't originally have his chin strap on when he started to ride, and he said it was because it was so comfortable, the way that it fits so snugly, he totally forgot about it. So of course I reminded him, but also because we're doing the video, he should have his chin strap on. But we both want to actually make a comment that this part here that has the protection is against the chin strap, you know, the soft padding, I guess, makes a big difference. It's actually really, really good as far as keeping this helmet comfortable. It is now 81 degrees, and so it's pretty warm. There's good ventilation coming into the helmet, so my head's not getting hotter than any other helmet. I like the way that feels. But one of the big things I really wanted to talk about this XNITO helmet also is that they have an accident replacement policy. So if you get into an accident or your helmet gets damaged from an accident, they will replace your helmet for free. That's how much they believe in making sure that they want to keep their customers happy with their helmets. So that's one thing that's really awesome. You know, other than they also have a satisfaction guarantee policy as well on their helmets. So John said he's really liking it as well. He originally thought maybe it might be too hard on the temples, and both of us also feel as though the helmet does go close to our ears, where we were kind of worried about our glasses getting in the way and touching it. And it does feel as though my sunglasses does touch maybe a little bit of the inner part of this, but not where it's an issue. Now going 23 miles an hour, going 25 now, because the steepness, the decline or angle of the hill is getting pretty deep. 27 miles an hour, just pretty much rolling here, no pedaling, no power putting to the motor itself. We're getting, I can't imagine if getting to an accident at this speed and having a helmet that's not safe for speeds like this, what kind of problems that you'd actually end up with. And you know, my other helmet was a certified helmet, but it's certified for bicycling, not for higher speeds like this. Going through the roundabout here. Getting up to 20 miles an hour, and now it's just rolling on down. Coming down through the mountains or the hillsides of Santa Clarita Valley. Now, talking a little bit about the XP Lite here. These brakes, again, the zoom work really, really well. They take a while for them to break in before the squeak started going away. So it's always good to go ahead and kind of do a break-in on your brakes when you first get them, just to kind of just wear off the first initial film that might be on the pads. But these brakes work well. You know, we're cruising down at 28 miles or 27 miles, now 28, 29. Let's see if can go a little faster. This 30 miles an hour, 31, 32, 33. Yeah, 33 miles an hour.